right, Ambitions fans, I'm doing my episode review tonight. I just finished the episode A Change is Gonna Come, and I gotta say it was well done. I think this episode was extremely well done from start to finish. Definitely a great break before the Ambition series comes back. I believe later this fall. I was given information it was coming back this fall, and I didn't watch it live, so if there was any kind of preview for what's to come, I didn't see it. But in any case, this episode, wow. Okay, so Evan is talking with Carly at the breakfast table about, a London acting troupe. What's it called? Like a tour or acting troupe that's going. And, hey, I think you'd be a great fit. I ran into one of the people that runs the program, but everything is cut short. A couple things happened during the conversation. Damien texts Stephanie just to say mission accomplished. Titus is at the Ducksworth Hotel. He's moved out of the house. And next thing you know, Stephanie's dad just rushes into the kitchen because of the photo that was taken of Lori and Carly kissing back in, I want to say like episode 4 or 5. It was the one where Carly confronted Lori about not being exclusive with their relationship, just sex, but no actual going anywhere. So he's not accepting of it whatsoever. And we quickly go over to I believe it was the Herschel. Amar's pretty much confronting him based off, the fact that he said he no longer wanted to testify against Peters in court. She steps outside for a phone call with Karen. Next thing you know, he shoots himself, and that sets off the episode, the first death of the episode. We go back over to Evan's house, and Carly comes out to her family, and the granddad goes off. Steven goes off, but Evan shuts it down. No matter what, you're not going to talk to my daughter and disrespect her in my house. So he leaves in a rage. And Evan is basically playing catch up this episode because remember, he really doesn't have any idea of the back and forth war between Stephanie and Carly. So he's really finding out a lot in this episode. So basically after that, we have Ignacio and Bella. He's putting on a new suit. Looks like a fly suit. Very nice suit. And talks about the fact that you've been accepted for a long-term partnership with my mother's fashion company. Basically, she loved your design so much, the 6-week provisional contract just got bumped up. And, he's trying, they embrace, but then he pretty much has his hands on her hips a little bit too long. She nicely brushes him aside to go get iced tea to celebrate. He gets a phone call saying, hey, this is going to be easier than expected. Just do what I tell you to, leading to the events in the end of the episode. From there, we have Titus, Hunter, Lori, and I forgot the other guy. They were in a board meeting, and basically Hunter notices that Titus is distracted by his phone. Amar saying, I need to talk to you. And then we have Carly calling, texting Lori saying we need to talk. So basically, some of his top players are being distracted by their own personal drama. And in any case, Hunter's pretty much saying that, and I forgot the other black guy's name, Amal or something like that. Basically, they have this idea to wean people off of opioids with some kind of, medication. So Hunter sees it as a way to profit. But for once, Lori agrees with Titus, who says, based on the current opioid epidemic and the fact that the Pure Ford company is being looked at through a microscope and a negative light for being responsible for creating addiction, coming out with a product to wean people off does seem like a way to get profit rather than to look sorry, meaning that things might not turn out so well. But Hunter goes along for anyway. So Lori leaves, and then he confronts Titus about, for the brothers and sisters in the hood, you just looking out for them when you should be focusing on Purifoy. But basically, Titus puts his foot down and lets him know, like, hey, that sister I helped with the restaurant, that could cost Stephen Carlisle millions of dollars if everything goes right. And basically, every time Hunter tries to put his foot down with Titus pretty much stands tall, and Hunter is both, surprised but also impressed by that. So that's something to take note of. And from there, we have Greg Peters coming over to Thelma's place, but basically, long story short, aside from Senior, threatening to shoot him, he's pretty much run out with the Banks is not for sale speech, along with the fact that Rondell pretty much says, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, I kind of faltered for a bit. I need everyone to rally together to get these signatures. So the the fight for the banks is reignited, but who knows how long that's going to last. So then we go to Stephanie going to see her dad, and I'd say that the MVP performance of this episode goes to Stephen Lancaster. Wait, Stephen, crap, Carlisle, Evan, Carlisle. I get them mixed up sometimes. Carlisle. He and Stephanie have a talk, and it really reflects on the first episode where her dad called her out for whining and dining his clients in order to usurp his throne, if you will, as the head of the company, but he shuts that down in a heartbeat. Basically, it started the conversation about Carly and Stephanie saying that hey, you know what, you're not going to disrespect or make my daughter feel inadequate. And then they have a pretty well written discussion about the homosexual community, how back in my day it was just boy and man and woman and woman and man. And then Stephanie rightly says there are gay people all the time, but they never came out due to ridicule and not being accepted. So I think that was well written as opposed to being shoved in our faces like some other shows. So I do appreciate the writing of that. That was actually pretty well done, in my opinion, at least. And like Stephanie said, I have my moments as a mother, which is actually pretty accurate. It really harkens back to, believe it or not, I think she really does care about Rondell, hence why, for her own protection, so to speak, because she saw how ruthless Greg's family is from a distance upstairs, that, you needed a bodyguard. But that's going to come in later in the episode. So basically, not only does Stephen Carlisle, sorry man, I keep mixing it up, kick Stephanie out of the English Rose Development Project in order to focus on fighting the Purefoys in the courtroom. He's taken over, and when I say he takes over, he takes over. And not only that, he calls out Stephanie for sleeping with Greg Peters, but like he said, there's nothing that goes on in this town without me knowing, which is pretty impressive. And not only that, calls her out for the whole Titus situation ever since Titus and Amara came into town, despite a 25-year dispute. Well, being 25 years ago, you've been off your game. And I really do like that, because the first half of the season has been about Stephanie, keeping tabs on everyone else and causing all kinds of trouble to get this end goal and that end goal. But her dad was very accurate when it came to her being off her game, because she's been spreading herself too thin. So then we go over to Lori talking with her dad, and despite being sad and, expecting her dad to be upset about the social media, burst of the photo of, the Lancaster heiress finding love, Hunter sees it as an opportunity to, well, what do they say? There's no such thing as bad publicity, because the way he sees it, the Purefoy name has been smeared and, called all kinds of things. But to actually have a Purefoy with a Lancaster, pretty much like a Romeo-Juliet situation, or in this case, Juliet, not only do you have the heiresses of the Purefoy and Lancaster families in the media kissing, but also showing, like the white family intermingling with a black girl, and then being gay on top of that. So in a way, he sees it as a win. He wants her to milk it for as long as she can, despite the fact they broke up. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that in the back half of season 1. And from there, we have Senior and Evan. And look, I gotta say that I'm mad. Well, I'm not mad at myself, because I did the video about who will die in the finale, and I was actually right. My gut instincts was right. Well, because I said Senior, but there are 3 deaths in the episode. And basically, Senior was just, whenever he spoke with Evan, and then later on Rondell, he gave that "I'm about to die" speech. You could just tell by the lighting, his demeanor. He pretty much was playing the game with Evan, asking him to be the man to stand at the wedding. And on top of that, without saying it, he actually pretty much confirmed that Joaquin is, his grandson. He knows about it. And that was a powerful moment. Then we have Amara and Greg Peters, but basically talking about the news about how Herschel killed himself, and that, hey, you know what, I'm going to be coming after you. Pretty much, keep your doors unlocked and keep your lights on. That's pretty much what she was saying. She is not bending to Greg Peters like any other person in this town. And then the fact that Herschel's family had photos with his family's faces cut out, pretty much showing that Greg Peters would threaten anyone if it didn't, if he didn't get his way. So then we move on to Rondell and Senior talking about, taking out the trash, and Senior is not playing any games carrying that gun. And then they find Stephanie's bodyguard, the one that she hired. what was it? I want to say it was episode 9. That's when she called saying that, hey, I need to have Rondell watched 24/7. Wait, I think she said in the last episode. Remember, I watched episode 10 like a few hours ago, so it's probably running together. But in any case, Stephanie hired someone to watch Rondell's back because with the deal falling through, she knows the Peters family will be going after Rondell no matter what. So then we cut to commercial. We have Amara and Titus. Basically, she's looking for a bit of emotional support because the person that she was just interrogating killed himself while she had her back turned. Titus is remorseful, but it's like, look, I'm not interested. But he does say, I'm in room 222 at Ducksworth Hotel. And I automatically thought DuckTales. I don't know why. Duck, Aflac, quack. But Greg sees Stephanie's father. Probably the best scene of the episode. Stephen Williams, I believe is the name of Stephen Carlisle in the show. When I tell you his acting in this scene was phenomenal. He shut down Greg Peters. It's like, I don't even need to say what he said. He just literally said, I'm the one taking over this development over my daughter. You will be in the dirt if I catch you in bed with my daughter again. Your father, basically his family apparently had a hit on Greg Peters for not closing the deal. But, you know, Steven called it off, basically showing like, I'm the one running the show. I mean, he was rocking the suit. He was sitting in the chair. It was on. He was not playing any games. Sit your pink ass down. Nuff said. This was the MVP moment of the episode. Then we get to a sad part. Okay, well, actually not there yet. Daphne's texting Evan to come over because I think she said, hey, he's going to be gone for the weekend. Come over to my spot. Carly and Evan have a heart to talk. Carly's basically saying a spot opened up in the acting troupe. I want to go to London. Evan isn't ready for her to go. Stephanie and her have words. Evan is once again unclear about what escorts, blackmail. Again, the whole Lori thing is unfolding in front of his eyes, but he doesn't know what's going on. And Stephanie kind of gives her blessing, if you will. Like, okay, well, you go into the acting, and I'm pretty sure these skills will help you if you ever decide to become an attorney one day. Honestly, that actually makes a lot of sense. So, yeah. But Carly is in no way, shape, or form trying to stay in Atlanta as long as her mom is there. So, man, that would actually shake things up a lot if she did move. So, yeah. All right, so, Hakeem is sleeping. Ignacio and Bella pretty much go from one toast to two toasts to sex. And a guy comes in and kidnaps him. I was right. I didn't want to put kidnapped in the title of my video I did earlier today because of the monetization. Pretty sure YouTube frowns on that. So then we go to Evan going over to Daphne to let off some steam. And she's dead. And he's freaking out. So he calls somebody over for emergency to get backup. Who killed her? Was it her husband? Did her husband find out about the affair? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But Stephanie and Titus, they have a, conversation at the dining area of the hotel he's staying at. The only thing I got to say about this is, Titus, I know you're upset at Amar, but I think it was pretty dumb of you to tell Stephanie secrets. It's like, I know you all had something 25 years ago, but to actually open up to a person that you're facing off against in court sometime soon, never mix business with pleasure. And Bella found out the hard way, or she will find out the hard way. I mean, technically she already did with Evan, but whatever. So then and I'm just going to jump to this. Amara comes to the hotel looking great, and she sees Stephanie and Titus together. But then we go over to Thelma's place. Rondell and her dad. Senior's looking fresh in the suit. He's ready to propose. Once again, he's just the way he's talking is like, yo, did he know he's about to die? But here's the part that gets me, and it goes back to like Titus making a rash decision by sleeping with Stephanie. Well, even before that, inviting her over for a drink to the hotel and just talking. We have Senior confirmed that Rondell sent the security guard away that Stephanie hired. And I'm just like, come on, Rondell. It's like, I know you're stubborn and everything, but shouldn't it be a red flag that if Stephanie hired someone to watch over you, wouldn't that suggest that Greg Peters is making threats he will follow up on? Because of the fact that, hey, you know what? If my trifling ass sister-in-law hired someone to watch me, and then was pushing for me to sign the contracts. Like, it's one thing for Stephanie to be pushing her to sign the contracts, but it's another for Stephanie to hire someone to watch you. Wouldn't that instantly mean that, okay, maybe this guy really is threatening to take our lives? So I was a bit upset that, Senior got killed like that. I did predict it though, but it just it's sad. It's sad. And somebody on, I think it was either Twitter, the YouTube comments on my theory videos, they said that the same song that was playing during the last few seconds of the episode was the same song that played during the episodes of Saints and Sinners when somebody got killed. But overall, guys, mid-season finale, I think it was pretty strong from start to finish. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think it was a great ending to the first chunk of this season of Ambitions. I will be doing a video in the near future. I'd probably say, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, I'll probably do it sometime this week, pretty much going over my general thoughts on Ambition so far. I have to say that I've enjoyed the show. I know some people have told me they've tuned in but they couldn't get into it. That's understandable. There are shows that people recommend to me, and I know I say this in almost every Ambitions video, but I get these comments every day. But not every show is for everybody, but for me, Ambitions is pretty good. I think the pacing is well done. I don't really feel bored watching episodes, and I like it. I think the cast is phenomenal. So overall, I think this was a great stopping point. I was told that the show will be coming back later this fall. So, I mean, if I were to estimate, I would say probably like towards the end of the year. That actually does make sense because season 1 is supposed to have 18 episodes. This was episode 11, so there's 7 left. So this show might be running from what? November, December, possibly. I don't know. Either way, good stuff. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think is going to come up later on in the back half of season 1? What was your favorite part of the episode? For me, it was definitely Steven Carlisle versus Greg Peters in his office. So, yeah. And how do you think they're going to take the death of Senior? Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.